Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal branding and business development company. I want to take you on a journey that takes another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal story, business conversations, and tips to improve your personal brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand podcast series, you will be able to differentiate yourself from the competition and allow you to build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build trust, and reflect who you are. Developing your 5-star personal brand is a great way to demonstrate your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh, spelled M-C-G-A-U-G-H, at 5-star BDM, B for brand, D for development, M for masters.com. Now let's begin with our next 5-star episode on Follow the Brand. There are 7 ways to elevate your personal brand. First, personal branding will differentiate you from your competition and allow you to build trust with your prospective clients and employers. That was a game-changing moment for me. This is how you get above the noise that is occurring in your own profession as you look to prospect and gain trust with your potential business clients. Hello, everyone. This is Grant McGaugh, your host of Follow the Brand. I am here to launch your success in personal branding. A common question I get a lot of is, what is my 5-star story? The story that got me started in personal branding. I will answer that question with 3 numbers, 747. 7 ways to elevate, 4 lessons I learned, 7 investments to make in myself. What is my 5-star 747 story? It is an episode in my life in which my personal brand was born. My 747 story was launched at the Denver airport on April 20th, 2014. This was my first day of training for a Fortune 500 company for sales optimization. Most sales training classes are routine, lots of company branding, overview of company processes and products with an introduction to key executives and peers. When I landed in Denver, I wanted to get as much out of this training as possible. I was looking for an opportunity to grow in my sales career. I felt stagnant. I was not learning any new ways to interact with my clients. After arriving at the office and getting to know the surroundings and people in my class, the training instructor, he introduced himself as the brand ambassador and that he was going to take the class through a course that could revolutionize the way we sell. A clear sign that it was time for me to strap on my seatbelt and get ready for takeoff. As we entered the course runway, he hit the jet throttle and stated, "If you are using social media to speak just to your friends and relatives, you are missing the greatest opportunity in your career." I had to hit the rewind button. If you are using social media to speak just to your friends and relatives, you are missing the greatest opportunity in your career. Remember, this was 2014, and the social media buzz for business was in its infancy. So now he quickly presented a top executive's LinkedIn profile on a screen and stated, "Do you know that 8 out of 10 of the key executives that you need to sell to are on this platform, and the only reason you are not doing business with them is because you are invisible to them?" I could now feel the 747 jet lifting off the runway and into the imagined deep blue sky of my mind. I was now keenly attuned to the instructor and was very curious as to what he was going to say next. He then instructed each of us to go to our own LinkedIn page and look at our profile. Then he casually stated, "Now I want you to look at the executive profile I have projected on the classroom screen. Notice the professional headshot, the customized and well-branded background, the optimized business title, and the first 3 sentences on the About section. Now look at your LinkedIn profile and ask yourself honestly if you think this person would do business with you or even connect with you based on your LinkedIn information. Most of you in the room would be invisible to this person. Let us change that." That was just a stellar moment for me. I looked at my profile and I was taken back at what I was looking at. I had not taken the time to invest in a professional headshot. I had a very ordinary picture of myself. It was a full body shot, outdoors with a casual shirt. My title had the company name that I previously had worked for with the standard corporate title. My About section was a description cut and pasted from my resume with very little differentiation from anyone else in my profession. All in all, my profile said, "IT sales guy looking to pester you for your business." Honestly, that's exactly what it looked like. This was my aha moment. I absolutely had to change my image to reflect my full potential and breadth of experience. Needless to say, the instructor had my full attention. And as we reached cruising altitude, I locked in to learn as much as I could. And here are some of the key takeaways I got from that. There are 7 ways to elevate your personal brand. First, personal branding will differentiate you from your competition and allow you to build trust with your prospective clients and employers. That was a game-changing moment for me. This is how you get above the noise that is occurring in your own profession as you look to prospect and gain trust with your potential business clients. And personal branding was a way to become more visible. I like that. Second, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart. Now, we've learned about this in I call Sales 101, Business 101. You never get a chance to make a first impression. But honestly, how much time do we take to put that same detail of how you're dressed, how you look, how you present yourself? What's your elevator pitch? What does that look like on your digital profile? Is it consistent? What does it say? Is it making an impactful impression? Definitely had to check mark number 2. Number 3, a personal brand is a great way to demonstrate your skills and knowledge about your particular subject or industry. Like, wow, yes, become a subject matter expert. This episode is brought to you by 5-Star BDM. 5-Star BDM is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for small to mid-sized businesses and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement in operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our 5-Star business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. The result is more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Please visit www.5starbdm.com to learn more and view all the episodes of Follow the Brand. Yes, I need to know and project as much about healthcare and about information technology as possible to position myself as a industry expert in which a top executive would take note. I need to be visible in this area as well. As we now go to number 4, which was develop what is the best way to position you online in your industry. And for me, without question, that was going to be LinkedIn because of all my clients were located and I could easily assess them on the profile of LinkedIn. That platform was gold to me. Number 5, seek to deliver incredible value to your target audience. So this is not a time to just show up and say, hey, I'm Grant McGaugh, and here are my great products and solutions to help you with your business. No, I needed to understand their problem. I needed to understand the common problems of healthcare IT executives and what they were struggling with, and to present that information about what that problem is and what's happening in the industry that potentially could solve that problem. What are the current trends? What are others doing? I became a convener of that kind of information. That was gold for me again. Number 6, build a reputation in your industry as the go-to person. You want people coming to you. That was key to me. It's like I always heard people like, I'm so like I'm sending out emails, I'm making my cold calls, I'm pressing the flash, but people aren't coming to me. And the way you get people to come to you is that they know who you are. They know you're that go-to person. You are the person that has the answers to their problems. That was gold. I needed to build that kind of reputation. And then number 7, success is magnetic and will attract other successful people. Wow. How do I attract successful people? I've got to be magnetic. I've got to create such a compelling story, a very interesting profile that will attract people to seek me out. And I knowing that would be, I would guarantee my success. And I love that. That was the first 7 in my 747 story. So after this stellar training course, I knew I had to double down on what I just learned. And I was now woke, could not go back to sleep, to the way of personal branding myself through digital media. There was no way I could go back to the old way I was doing things. Effective training classes are only effective if you are still deploying new techniques months and years after the training, meaning what you learn has now become a part of yourself. And that is the goal of personal branding. So that it becomes a part of your daily routine. It becomes a part of what you're doing to propel yourself forward. So that was key. So some of the 4, I'll get to the 4 of my 747 experience. The 4 things or the 4 lessons that I learned that I had to incorporate into my daily routine. And these 4 things were recreate my profile. I had to do that. I had to recreate my profile to be more compelling, to more attractive. Let's take a look at this headline description. Let's look at this summary. I had to make sure that my profile was complete with the information that I needed, that if someone else was reading that, it would give them a very robust vision of who I was as an individual. Number 2, I had to create a brand presence. I had to begin to partner with certain companies and associations that emit trust for my particular target audience, the people that I wanted to get involved with. For me, there was healthcare IT executives. I wanted to make sure that I had associations in which they had associations, that I was working with companies in which they had worked with. This is very important. And I also wanted to make sure I had brand consistency, that I was consistent across all my different touch points. Now, I use LinkedIn primarily, but I wanted to make sure that I was also visible on Instagram. I was also visible on Facebook. I was also visible on YouTube. Having that brand consistency would be very important because you never know where your target audience actually truly hangs out. How do they consume their social media information? And make sure that my brand conveys feeling. People like to feel good when they're interacting with you. And then when you're interacting digitally, you want to make sure this falls into my third point, which was develop an online communication with rich content. I needed to have good videos, pictures, industry articles that depicted exactly what my audience was looking for. This is very key, in which I learned to develop and promote on a daily basis. And then I had to continue to build my target audience. I needed to be involved with any kind of digital events in which my target audience would also be involved. I wanted to be signed into webinars and seminars and make sure that I had virtual touch points and if possible, different physical events in which my target audience would be in attendance. So all of these are very, very important when you're looking at things like geography or your demographics or your psychographics and your behaviors, that you look to constantly build value for your target audience. I had to stand out from the crowd and not only be visible, to my prospects and potential clients. I needed to add stellar value. Very important. I had to have more of a focus and to be seen as a game changer in my industry. So I took the time to develop my brand through my online presence with genuine experiences. Personal branding is a lifelong project that it just constantly evolves and changes. So I'm constantly, creating new social media profiles to meet the time of the day, what's important right now, what's relevant, to my audience, what's relevant to myself, what's relevant to my industry. So that brings me into investments. What were the 7 investments that I made in my personal story, in my 5-star story? All right. So number 1, be consistent in delivering my brand on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And own that. Make it a testimony for myself. Do that on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Own that. Have a outstanding written bio. And what I did is that I hired a professional to write my bio. That was an investment of dollars. It cost me, I think it was like $100 to $200, but it was worth it. Because when you have a professional write your bio, you can then customize that bio for different types of endeavors that you're taking place. So I have 4 or 5 different versions of my bio, depending on who or what I am interacting with. Number 3, invest in professional headshots. I had to definitely do that. Matter of fact, I need to do it again. It's just that time. You want to constantly be fresh with your imagery, with your pictures. So it's reflective of who you are today, right now. Number 4, I had to join a recognized association. And this is very important. Join a recognized association to elevate my brand. I did this consciously. I did this intentionally. I intentionally joined organizations like the National Association of Health Services Executives. I joined the HIMSS, which is the Health Informatics Management Systems and Society or Association. I wanted to make sure that my job or my business was well represented in those associations to elevate my brand. Number 5, I signed up for public speaking classes. Very important to be able to speak and communicate as clearly as possible. I learned this lesson very painfully when I first started out with as engagement as president of the National Association of Health Service Executives, or NACE, in Florida. And it was a clear distinction that I needed to be polished in that area. So for you that are looking to have either trouble speaking or looking just to improve in that area, just seek out an organization like Toastmasters. They're very good. You'll see classes throughout the U.S. And I gain considerable value in doing that. Also, follow personal brand experts. Follow experts in your field. I got a lot of tips. I got a lot of ideas. I follow people that I admire, mentors that are out there, people that are forged the path ahead of me, so I know what I'm coming up against. I get I get inspired by their story, and I'm hoping they'll be inspired by mine. And then number 7, give back to others as others has given to me. I'll say that again. Give back to others as others have given to me. Very, very, very important to give back, because all the things that I learned in my 747 story came from other people. And then I was able to incorporate that into my own life and develop my own experience, my own unique brand experiences. That's my 5-star 747 story. And it begs the question that I want to ask my audience. Are you in the audience of your life? Or are you on the center stage? Are you on the center stage of life? Are you taking control? Are you stepping up to the mic and presenting yourself and your particular attributes that are unique to you and your business and your career? So if you want to be more visible, you want to be more credible, build your professional personal brand and determine who you are and where you're going with clear direction. I was able to grow my professional network to over 20,000 people in my field of healthcare and technology with a consistent brand presence that excites and informs my community. So developing your 5-star personal brand is a great way, excellent way to demonstrate your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me, or even in the future for my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh, that's McGaugh, at 5, the number 5, star, BDM, B for brand, D for development, M for masters.com. So that's going to conclude our very first episode. I encourage all of you to follow the brand. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on our my website, as well as all the different podcast stations that we are right now subscribed to.